Beloved, we are gathered here this morning to witness the union of this couple, Brian and Julie. But before we proceed, I would like to ask who will give this woman away to be with.
My sister and I.
Right, very well, thank you. You may be seated. Brian, you sit next to your bride. This is exciting. In a few moments, we're going to hear each one as they publicly state their vows. But before they do that, I'd like to say a few things about marriage. And then we'll hear their vows in just a moment. When a man and woman decide to become married, they've already begun a life together as far as a relationship. And the trail that they're forging has already given evidence of a growing relationship, one of love and one of security. And as it starts out, it's of course enveloped with passion and romance. But then as that relationship develops, it takes on other qualities such as trust, such as faithfulness, and yes, even at times, forgiveness. And marriage is all of those things. But even more so, marriage is a contract. Marriage is an agreement, a legal contract, a covenant, if you will. And so heretofore I will be expressing this union as a covenant of marriage. Now, the Bible gives charge to each party involved, to the husband and also to the wife-to-be, as to their responsibilities in this contract, in this covenant of marriage. We're going to begin, of course, with the man. We're going to begin with Brian. Now, Brian, in consideration of your decision to become wed to Julie, okay, the Bible charges you to love your wife as Christ loved his church and gave himself for it. Will you, Brian, give yourself over to Julie to be your loving and lawfully wedded wife, to provide for her material, her physical, her emotional, and her spiritual needs? If you do, say, I will.
I will.
Okay, thank you. The Bible also states that man was not, and never was, designed to be alone. He was charged with keeping care and nurturing the garden. But God saw that his work was great, and so he decided to give him a helper. And so he fashioned woman out of his side, and then gave her back to him in the form of a living, breathing helpmate. And so that's what we see before us, is Brian taking on that helpmate. Will you receive Julie then, Brian, as your helpmate for life? Will you seek to understand her, and get this, her unique need and desire to help you build a peaceful and secure home life for the two of you? Will you therefore seek to maintain that peace and security by not allowing anyone or anything to interfere with your relationship with her? If so, please say, I will.
I will.
Brian, upon hearing of your responsibilities, as outlined in the Scriptures, toward this marriage, and of God's instruction to you as a husband and head of a home, do you then wish to take Julie to be your lawfully wedded wife as your helpmate? If so, say, I do.
I do.
Okay. What token then do you have as a representative of your love for Julie?
A ring.
You have a ring, okay? I'm going to ask that you turn and face each other. You take her hand in yours. And you're going to slip that ring onto her ring finger. And as you do, I want you to hold tightly onto that ring. This ring now is a symbol of all who you are as a man. It symbolizes your character, your qualities, and everything that she has fallen in love with. That ring is that symbol. So hold on to that ring tightly, because it now represents you. Okay? And with that ring, and holding her hand firmly, I want you to say this. With this ring, I promise to take thee, Julie,
With this ring, I promise to take thee, Julie,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
to be my lawfully wedded wife,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness or in health,
in sickness and in health,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
to love, honor, and cherish,
to love, honor, and cherish,
from this day forward, so long as we both shall live.
from this day forward, as long as we both shall live,
Until death do we part.
until death do we part.
All right. Now will you turn and face me again? All right. The Bible also gives a charge to the bride. Julie, also in the Bible, it gives the wife her own charge. It says to you, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husband as unto the Lord. As the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be unto their own husbands in everything. And see that the wife reverence her husband. Are you, Julie, willing to support your husband in his divinely appointed role as headship over your home and to submit unto his leadership as he seeks to provide for the peace and prosperity of your home? If so, say I will.
I will.
Julie, the wife, also is challenged to seek to develop her own inward character, to develop the quality of a meek and quiet spirit for the sake of the harmony of the relationship. Will you, Julie, seek to develop these qualities which in God's sight are very valuable? If so, please say, I will. Now, Julie, upon hearing of your responsibilities toward this marriage, and of God's instruction to you as a wife and helpmate, do you wish to then take Brian to be your lawfully wedded husband? If so, say, I do.
I do.
All right, so far so good. All right, what token do you have to represent your love for Brian?
A ring.
All right?
Half a finger.
Okay. We turn and face Brian. And the same as with Brian, this ring that you are now placing on his hand is a representative of you as his bride-to-be. Everything is in that ring. So every time you look at each other's rings from here forward, you remember that it represents the person you married. So if you repeat after me as you place the ring on his finger, with this ring I promise to take you, Brian,
I promise to take you, Brian,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
to be my lawfully wedded husband,
for better or for worse,
for better or for worse,
for richer or for poorer,
for richer or for poorer,
in sickness or in health,
in sickness or in health,
to have and to hold,
to have and to hold,
to love, honor, cherish, and obey,
to love, honor, cherish, and obey,
from this day forward, so long as we both shall live,
from this day forward as long as we both shall live,
until death do we part.
till death do we part.
All right. Now turn. Got it? Okay. Now turn and face me again. Now this is something very important as these two come into this unionship, is that although you are two individuals, okay, and you'll soon find out how individual she is. But you are two individuals. But under this arrangement of the covenant of marriage, you blend your lives and your hearts and your aspirations and your goals together. And so Jesus, who is the light of life, and he is the light of the world, he's going to light up your relationship if you let him. And we always say that the closer, if Jesus is in the middle of your relationship, he's in the center, the very core of your relationship, then Brian, as you as an individual get closer to Jesus, who's in the center and heart of your relationship, you get closer to Julie. And as you get closer to Christ, you get closer to Brian. So always remember that when there are differences. Always hold on to the divinely assigned roles that God has given you. When there are differences, that you are to provide her security of the home and give her a place to land, a soft place, and always never threaten your commitment to her when you disagree. And likewise, Julie, when you disagree, notice I'm not saying if, it's when you disagree, you'll always remember your place and his place as the divinely assigned head of the home. Okay, that's very, very important. Christ is the light of our relationship. All right, well, Brian and Julie, upon hearing you both state your marriage vows, and believing you both to be committed to the covenant of this marriage, by the divine and human authority given to me, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Will you turn and greet your bride? There you go. Turn and face your witnesses, and to all of you who have been witnesses of this union, I now present to you Mr. and Mrs. Brian King.
Love me. I like it.
You next.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby? I think I wanna marry you. Well, I know this little chapel on the boulevard we can go. No one will know. Oh, come on, girl. Who cares if the trash